Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our very warm weather window today. Boy, it felt more like summer out there today, didn't it? And look at this. Just spectacular shot. This was a shot from this afternoon around the Lake Wenatchee area. I think in between Coles Corner and Lake Wenatchee. Beautiful shot of blue sky with a little bit of high cloudiness out there today. And it was a beautiful late May day around all of north central Washington. And tell you what, we're not done yet. We talked about the heat wave starting yesterday, today, the second day. Let's go all the way to Friday. And these are the possible high temperatures as we get into Friday. 93 Omak, 90 over in Spokane. Wenatchee, we will see 95 degrees. And then look at those temperatures. Moses Lake, 96, and all the way up to 97 in Pasco by the time we get to Friday. We will talk much more hot weather coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Grant County Sheriff's Office deputies are searching for the suspect in a shooting outside Moses Lake Tuesday night that left the victim in what's being said as a grave condition. In fact, that has been updated now. That man has been determined to be deceased. We'll talk more about that coming up. A body recovered from Moses Lake on Monday has been identified, and the Chelan-Douglas Health Board has approved a coronavirus enforcement resolution. But first, we begin tonight. Governor Jay Inslee relaxed rules today for religious gatherings under his Stay Home, Stay Healthy order, allowing outside services for counties in Phase 1 and limited inside services for counties in Phase 2. In Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan counties, which remain in Phase 1, outdoor services can be held on a church's property with up to 100 in attendance as long as they're practicing social distancing. For counties in Phase 2, like Grant County, indoor gatherings will be allowed at 25% of capacity or with fewer than 50 people. Law enforcement personnel entered their fifth day of a manhunt yesterday for a fugitive off Blewett Pass. 34-year-old Jorge Alcantara Gonzalez is suspected of stealing two vehicles, including one belonging to a missing man. He's believed to be on foot in the Mineral Springs area after fleeing Kittitas County Sheriff's deputies on Saturday, who were investigating two stolen vehicles. One of those cars belonged to a Kent man who's been missing since May 16th. 41-year-old Ian Eccles was heading to meet friends in the Liberty area for a turkey hunt when he disappeared. The search for Eccles continues. Alcantara Gonzalez is believed to have stolen a dome-style tent from a campsite in the area. He's also wanted for several burglaries and thefts in the First Creek area that's south of Liberty back in April. Anyone using Blewett Pass is being warned not to pick up hitchhikers and to report any suspicious persons in activity in that area. Numerous law enforcement agencies are assisting in that search. In other news, Grant County Sheriff's Office deputies are searching for the suspect in a shooting outside Moses Lake Tuesday night that left a motorist dead. The shooting happened about 9:15 p.m. in the area of Carswell and Schilling Drives in the Larson housing area. The sheriff's office said they received reports of multiple gunshots with a black sedan being struck several times. The victim's car went over a curb and into the yard of a resident as the suspect's vehicle fled south, according to the sheriff's office. The victim was transported to Samaritan Hospital. Officials are asking witnesses or anyone else with information to contact them, and that number is 762-1160. A body recovered from Moses Lake on Monday has been identified as 61-year-old Myung T. Kim of Shoreline. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Kim and a companion had been camping in the Moses Lake sand dunes area when Kim entered the water late Sunday evening and didn't resurface. The Sheriff's Office and Grant County Fire District 5 crews searched for hours before suspending the search until Monday morning. That's when they discovered Kim's body. The Sheriff's Office described the drowning as a terrible accident with no foul play suspected. Well, the Chelan-Douglas Board of Health will not submit a new waiver request to move the counties into Governor Jay Inslee's Phase 2 reopening. The state health department already turned down what's called a Phase 1.5 proposal to allow some businesses back to work. In a special meeting yesterday, the 8-member board said they need to review what their COVID-19 recovery numbers should be under new guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control.
When you look at that, there's a 3-phase process that the CDC lays out here, which is under the president's piece. Our Phase 1 and 2 actually pretty much fall under the first phase of that particular element. Looking at this thing, they're looking at the defining of the 14 days of decreasing cases. The thing that has me troubled a little bit is that the 10 per 100,000 is defining a low incidence plateau, which basically means that you have to come out of a higher case piece. There's some other elements that talk about a 3-day rolling average, then a 5-day grace period within the 14-day period. I think we need to do a little bit more work on understanding that particular piece before we move forward with another piece that we could potentially put forth.
Coming up next, local lawsuits against Governor Jay Inslee over the COVID-19 emergency order moves forward. A Quincy man appears to be pulling through after a severe coronavirus infection, but his family seeks help as he prepares for rehabilitation. And the Grant County Fair, scheduled for August 18th through the 22nd, has been canceled due to restrictions imposed in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The 2 hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with 3rd-generation EcoDiesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. 2 more reasons when it comes to buying a truck. There's no reason to leave town.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented fast tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors. We're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back. In another news, lawsuits seeking to overturn Governor Jay Inslee's emergency coronavirus orders appear likely to leave Chelan and Douglas counties to be heard in Thurston County. Douglas County Commissioners Mark Straub and Dan Sutton traveled to Okanagan County today, where a judge agreed to relocate the lawsuit they filed along with fellow Commissioner Kyle Steinberg and 5 other plaintiffs. But Judge Harry Rawson said he might still reconsider the move. In Chelan County, a hearing on an identical case didn't happen as planned yesterday because Judge Travis Brandt was disqualified from hearing the case, and Judge Kristen Ferreira is ill with COVID-19. 4 Wenatchee City Council members, Ruth Esparza, Travis Hornby, Jose Luis Cuevas, and Linda Harold, are all plaintiffs in that action. The state attorney general also wants that case and 2 more just like it filed elsewhere to be consolidated and heard in Thurston County, where the state capital, Olympia, is located. In full disclosure, NCWLIFE host Carrie Condata is also a plaintiff in the Chelan County lawsuit. Well, a Quincy man appears to be pulling through after a severe coronavirus infection, but his family seeks help as he prepares for rehabilitation. Ignacio Valverde suffered 3 days of fever before he was hospitalized in Wenatchee for 2 months, including ventilator treatment. The longtime Quincy resident and farm worker now expects to be released to long-term rehab. The GoFundMe drive to help his family has passed its original goal, but more contributions are always appreciated. Inocencio is one of more than 200 Grant County residents diagnosed with COVID-19. Chelan and Douglas counties have seen more than 400 diagnoses. 13 people in the 3 counties have died. Well, the Grant County Fair, scheduled for August 18th through the 22nd, has been canceled now due to restrictions imposed in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Fair organizers had expected up to 100,000 people over the 5 days of the fair, but said regulations for reopening made the fair, quote, financially unfeasible, unquote. The fair typically is a break-even event, but when they were notified by the health district that the carnival could not safely be part of the event and social distancing guidelines would be impossible to manage at the concerts, the decision was made to cancel the fair altogether. The fair is still hoping to have some type of showing and judging for youth who have purchased animals. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, thousands of Washingtonians are victims of a Nigerian scam ring that used stolen identities to pilfer unemployment benefits to the tune of millions of dollars. Among them, 8th District Congressman Kim Schreier, who found out when she followed recommendations and set up an account with the State Employment Security Department. She explained what happened in a Facebook Live video.
I did this, went through all the steps, only to find that indeed my name had been used fraudulently. I then went through and did the same thing for my husband and found that his has also been used fraudulently. This is really rampant. And the reason I'm telling you this is not just so that you can know if you're a victim of fraud and report it to the Employment Security Department, but also because if you go in and you set up an account, that will protect you from fraudulent activity. I have to tell you, the most heartbreaking part of all of this is that now people who are desperately waiting for unemployment benefits are having to wait even longer, are having to go through even more hoops. And this is just devastating, a devastating loss of taxpayer dollars to a fraudulent ring in Nigeria.
All right, time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. And as always, let's take a look outside our beautiful weather window from this afternoon. This Sky-Fi Tower camera up around the Lake Wenatchee area. Coles Corner also nearby. Beautiful greenery up at Lake Wenatchee. What a great day to be up that way with temperatures very mild today. Just a few high clouds out there. Unofficially, temperatures at Pangborn Airport today, a beautiful 82 degrees. That's 8 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. 74 is normal. 50 was our overnight low, and 52 is where we should be, so right in the ballpark there. 89, our record high. Beautiful day back in 2005. Record low, 39 in 1977. Sunrise this morning, 5:11, and the sun will set this afternoon, or I should say tonight, at 8:46. Let's take a peek at how our Thursday is going to shape up, and if you thought today was a warm one, wait until you see these Thursday temperatures. We're talking upper 80s and lower 90s for most of north central Washington. Moses Lake 91 tomorrow, Ephrata and Quincy at 90. Wenatchee, we will see probably 88 degrees tomorrow, a beautiful one in Cashmere at 87, and we'll see mid to upper 80s all the way up the Highway 97 corridor all the way to Omak, where we'll also see a high temperature of 87 degrees. Surface loop now, and tonight we'll see just partly cloudy skies, light winds out there. It will be mild, big ridge of high pressure up and over the Pacific Northwest, and just a smattering of clouds around the entire western United States. Big storm system off the coast, and that won't affect us at all. It's going to continue to move to the northeast over the next few days. For Thursday, mostly sunny, light wind, unseasonably warm. Yeah, you know what those orange colors means? That's upper 80s and lower 90s. We mentioned it's going to be a warm one for Thursday, and Friday even hotter. In fact, we could be talking record highs on Friday, even 100 degrees in the Tri-Cities. Not out of the question. It's going to be very warm, about 97 for Pasco down that way. Saturday then, what usually follows a heat wave? Yeah, some thunderstorms, and we'll see about a 70% chance of that, especially by late afternoon, early evening in north central Washington. You can see the lightning strikes on our map, and that's all because of that little area of low pressure moving clouds up at us, and that'll bring us some showers as we wake up on Sunday morning with a 40% chance for rain. And then by afternoon on Sunday, really not too bad if you have weekend plans. Partly cloudy, cooler though, and we'll stay a little bit cooler on Monday, although about normal for temperatures, mostly sunny and mild. All of about 2/3 of the United States will be cloud-free on Monday. And then for Tuesday, we will begin a warm-up that starts on Monday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and then by Tuesday, lots of sunshine with high temperatures then in the upper 70s to lower 80s. Now let's take a look at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. Very mild overnight tonight at 56, 88 tomorrow. Look at that, 62 our overnight low Thursday, 66 the low Friday, 94 degrees in the Wenatchee area Friday. That will be a new record high. 90 for Saturday, but watch out for those clouds late in the day. Thunder boomers and possibly some lightning on Saturday. Then some morning showers on Sunday and 74 degrees. Our slow warm-up begins back up then on Monday, mostly sunny and mild and 78. And then by Tuesday, sunny and warmer, high temperature then of 81 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's been a year like no other, but we won't let our high school seniors leave without a chance to honor them in the way they've earned. NCWLIFE Channel is proud to bring you the virtual graduations of Wenatchee, Eastmont, Cashmere, and Westside High Schools. Thanks to the support from Laura Mounter Real Estate, world's best realtor for 2019.
Volan Law Firm, wishing to congratulate the 2020 graduates. Wenatchee School District, preparing students for life in the 21st century and beyond.
See our broadcast schedule at ncwlife.com.
What's your AUT-TO emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snow blowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it on the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you, staying home and staying healthy. Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. The Pac-12 announced yesterday that it will allow voluntary in-person workouts for all sports beginning on June 15th. Of course, the move is subject to the decision of each individual campus and where permissible by relevant governmental entities. Under Governor Jay Inslee's Safe Start plan, Washington State is using a staged approach to reopening. Small gatherings of no more than 5 people are permitted in Phase 2. Home counties for Pac-12 schools in Washington would have to reach Phase 4 before practice could resume. So far, King County, home of the Huskies, hasn't reached Phase 2 yet and isn't expected to reach a phase to allow practice till maybe July. Washington State is in Whitman County, which is already in Phase 2. Well, the phase control in Washington could also put the Seahawks behind a return to its facility in Renton. Yahoo Sports reported yesterday NFL sources said coaches could be back in team buildings as soon as next week. That could lead to players on the field for team minicamps sometime in June. This puts the Seahawks in a unique spot. Under the current restrictions in our state, Pete Carroll and his coaching staff won't be allowed into the facility until later in June. Up to now, the NFL has stated it won't resume full on-field training for players until every one of its 32 teams are permitted by local authorities to reopen. The league has said it does not want a competitive disadvantage to say the Dolphins, Buccaneers, and Jaguars fully operating again in reopened Florida, while the Seahawks remain shut down here in Washington. ESPN has chosen Russell Wilson, U.S. soccer star Megan Rapinoe, and Seattle Storm guard Sue Bird to co-host the virtual ESPY Awards coming up next month. Normally, the ESPYs are about celebrating and reliving some memorable sporting achievements over the past year, but as part of the tweaks to this year's format due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the show is celebrating heroism and the humanitarian aid. Among the awards that will be presented are the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage, the Pat Tillman Award for Service, the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, the Billie Jean King Youth Leadership Award, and the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award. The 2020 ESPY Awards will be on ESPN on Sunday, June 21st. They don't have a time schedule for that as of yet. Well, Cashmere has announced its selection as the 2020 Wall of Fame addition to be Herb Lowers. Lowers was a graduate of Cashmere High back in 1944, where he played football and basketball. He was also a member of the band and the orchestra. He joined the Navy after graduating and served 2 years of duty in World War II in the South Pacific. Upon his honorable discharge, Lowers enrolled at Washington State College, where he was active in his fraternity and on campus. He married his college sweetheart, Roberta Buddy Frink, in August of 1950, and the family returned to Cashmere. Herb was employed in the fruit industry, served 2 years on the Cashmere School Board, and was a 50-plus year member of the Lions Club. Mr. Lowers passed away in October of 2018 at the age of 91. Congratulations posthumously, and I'm sure the family is very proud. Herb Lowers added to the Wall of Fame for Cashmere High School, announced today by the ASB. Well, Major League Baseball made an economic proposal to the Players Union yesterday that the players found to be, quote, extremely disappointing, end quote. The plan included a sliding scale proposal that would pay a greater percentage of salaries to lower wage earners in baseball, while the multimillionaires would get less. The proposal was different than the 50-50 revenue sharing plan that owners initially approved earlier this month. Salaries in the major leagues range from $563,500 at the minimum to $36 million a year for the likes of Mike Trout and Garrett Cole. Players agreed to a deal in March which they would receive prorated shares of their salaries based on the percentage of games played. In addition, the union said the sides also remain far apart on health and safety protocols aimed at starting the pandemic-delayed season around the 4th of July. The two sides really far apart. I don't know if we're going to get baseball back by that date. Well, again, a quick reminder of what's coming up on the sports schedule this week here on the NCWLIFE channel. Tomorrow night, big hockey match. If you missed this back in 2018, you got to watch it. It's the Chilliwack Chiefs and the Wenatchee Wild in the RBC Cup in May of 2018. That's tomorrow with our checker at 7 o'clock. Friday night features Big Nine volleyball from last fall between Wenatchee and Moses Lake. This was a great stem winder. That starts at 7. Saturday's double feature begins at 2 with Wenatchee and Eastmont boys soccer from 2018. Then at 7, it's more of the RBC Cup from 2018, Wenatchee facing the Steinbach Pistons. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Eric, thank you. And as we leave you tonight, how about a positive story? Through June 30th, all donations to the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society will be matched up to $2,500 by the Petco Foundation to what they say will hopefully help save twice as many pet lives. The matching grant from the Petco Foundation, announced yesterday, will double donation dollars to save shelter animals' lives by paying for pet food, medical attention, and supplies. The grant is part of the Petco Foundation's pledge to save pet lives during this COVID-19 crisis by distributing $1 million in product and cash donations and putting out a national call to implore animal lovers to take action to help save animal lives. All right, before we check in with Dan Kuntz, let's take a look now at our Patriot Plumbing Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. And if you like heat, you're going to like this forecast all the way into the weekend. Just warmer as we get into Thursday, mostly sunny and 88 tomorrow, all the way up to a record-setting, possibly 94 on Friday, mostly sunny skies. Look at that overnight low, 66 Friday morning. As we get into Saturday, then expect a steady increase in clouds throughout the day, a 70% chance for rain as we get late in the day, early evening, and 90 degrees. And then some morning showers on Sunday and 74 before we warm up again early next week. Monday and Tuesday, both days sunny to mostly sunny, 78 on Monday and 81 your high temperature on Tuesday. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On Thursday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we will check in via Skype with our good friend Pete Phillips. Pete's a regular contributor to the program. Pete, of course, helps run the 2020 STEM Summit, which is held in August, but like everything else, things have changed, and they're going to do the STEM Summit this year virtually. We'll get an update from Pete Phillips from the North Central Educational Services District coming up via Skype tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Your very warm weather forecast and everything you need to know to start your Thursday. Tomorrow live at 7 a.m. from this very studio. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. We'll be watching. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
This is Caitlin Hedersheet, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.